Let's go through an example. Let h be the height in feet of a tennis ball at t seconds after it was dropped from a two-story building. A. Define the dependent and independent variable. B. Sketch the graph of the situation. Recommendation or suggestion. Always read word problems at least 2 to 3 times. I do realize word problems are not the easiest, but if you read them only once, they get more difficult or more challenging. So reading them 2 or 3 times, well, I guess will at least allow us to kind of get into the idea or the concept. So let's try it again. The h be the height in feet of a tennis ball at t seconds after it was dropped from a two-story building. Okay, so let's start with B. B in this case, it's probably the easiest. Sketch the graph of the situation, particularly for this one. So let's see, let's build up a quick, look, that looks like a two-story building, right? Sort of. And let's assume somebody's at the top trying to test and see how fast a ball falls from the top to the ground. Of course, he's being safe and trying to keep an eye for people down below. Okay, so let's see, keep in mind, we can build this like a graph. So let's see, in a graph, what would come first here? Or what would come second? Well, let's see. If I put h, height, well, that's height of the building, right? So yeah, that kind of matches up up at the top. Versus if I put t on the side here, seconds, yeah, that kind of matches up with our x-axis. So in this case, we can say height in feet, height at the top to measure the height of the ball, and t times how many seconds have passed. You might need a stopwatch to start it, right? Or to check how long it takes. Let's see, he drops the ball. And you're counting with the stopwatch. There it goes. Well, rough idea. So this is just a rough concept, rough idea, so a rough sketch. There we go. Looks like we got the basics for it. So what did we need overall? Well, A, we sketched the graph. That's it. We sketched the graph. That's all we need. Just a very rough sketch to get us an idea or a concept of what is going on. B, define the dependent and independent variable. Let's see. A, independent. Keep in mind the independent represents the parents or is the input. And the kids or the dependent variable is what comes afterwards. So what comes first? So we got to know the time. That's the x-axis representative, right? So therefore our independent variable would have to be time. In other words, our x value representative, the time in seconds. So the parents or the kids, pardon me, not the parents, the kids would therefore have to be the height. You got to know the time before you can say at what height it was. So at 2 seconds, it was at height x, or pardon me, y, right? So watch out for that. So do remember, build basic graphs and rough ideas for this. The idea is to get conceptualized or get comfortable with independent versus dependent.